have tribute from Audley Sound. Put your hands together for Audley Sound.
So thank you. I'm not quite sure what else to say. I've had the real privilege of working with Luther over the last year as his superintendent at the Afrocentric School. It is when you walk into the building and you see the relationship that Luther has built with the staff, with the students, it actually is phenomenal. And I think what's really most interesting and endearing as I walk through the school with him is that Luther has the ability to make a connection with students that is unreal. And it's based on, yes, he knows the students, definitely by far by name, he knows the parents and the families, as Colleen has alluded to, but he knows their individual stories. He knows what they've accomplished, and he knows what they need to do in order to take the next step. Because there's a huge part of Luther that is all about how do I make staff and students better. It's important that we make each and every person in that community and in that building better. And that's almost at times his life mission. Because part of what Luther does, and he does it like nobody else, is he thinks about the individual and he makes it a point to try and figure out how do I take a little bit each and every day in order to make that student better. And part of the teaching process for him really is this notion that when that angry student comes in, and make no mistake about it, I've seen one or two that have come into the office and they will be frustrated, they'll be upset, and whatever the issue is, Luther will take them through this whole process of, tell me what happened, because it's important to actually listen first before we can actually resolve the world's problems. And then we get students to actually understand, tell me, what choices did you make? What options did you have? And last and certainly not least, what could you have done differently? Because it's important as we go through with students that we actually teach them along the way. And that's one of the things that Luther does better than anybody else I know. Because at the heart of what he does, he's a teacher. He's a teacher of not just students, but of staff and of anyone around him. Because Luther really does believe that teaching is an opportunity. And he takes that opportunity each and every day. I also like to outline that in so many ways, when I look at Luther, and Luther is very much what I would call a champion around issues of equity. Make no mistake about it. Every time I come into Luther's office, Luther will always challenge me and basically say, tell me, Audley, how do we make things better for all students, but also for many of our racialized students in our school, in our community, and across the system? And if I'm not willing to do that, then do you know what Luther's going to do? Luther will happily pick up the phone and call my boss, and then he'll pick up the phone and call my boss's boss. Sorry, Colleen. And it's not that he does it out of ego, because there's no ego there. He does it because of the fact that it's the right thing to do, and because he cares desperately, and because he believes at his very core, we can all do better. And I guess that's what I've learned from him. We can all do better. So Luther, I know you are going off. I'm actually very, very sad that you are leaving the Afrocentric School, but at the end of the day, I actually believe that you are on for bigger and better things, and based on what you've done, we certainly will miss you, but appreciate what you will achieve in the next step of your career. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Audley, he is the superintendent of schools. Clapping, superintendent of schools. So we're getting through all the tributes because we're just going to have all the performances, so you will have a grand time. Next, we will have tribute from Victor Henry, friend and former co-host on radio. Put your hands together for Victor Henry. Oh, a Tipper. They never know Tipper have real name. You just think a Tipper in name. Come show me after what you just put that bracket. Tipper. Sure. No, all of them, we never know Tipper have a birth name. That's what I didn't know your real name, Victor Henry. Victor Tipper Henry. Put your hands together for Mr. as I call him, Tipper.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Tipper.
As for my brethren Luther, I'm not going to make you a speech, but as for Luther, as on behalf of my wife, the rest of my family, and myself, I wish him a wonderful retirement. And brethren, the join the train, and we'll dine. Thank you.
Soul friend.
And so, Tipper can cook. Not a man to talk long. Just give him a stove and a pot, some seasoning, and some coconut milk. A Tipper that he talks that way. Put your hands together for a Tipper. And now I know you're right in Tipper. Victor Henry, I can't hide from me again. So now we're going to have, yes. Now we're going to have another tribute from Cecil Peters, and he is from the African Heritage Education Network. Put your hands together for Cecil Peters. We have a lot of educators in the room. Clap all the educators, we don't know them, but they are doing their thing.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, sister.
I'm going to make it short. I was told to make it short. First of all, Brother Luther, I want you to pinch yourself. Pinch yourself. You feel anything? Because, you know, I'm wondering if you're alive because I've never been in a room where everybody says so much things, so much good things about somebody, except after they're gone. So, I am so glad that we're doing it right now. We're showing the brother the appreciation. And we're showing the brother the love that we need to do. And we have to continue to do that right through. And you know what? And we have to love one another too. Yes. So that when we have that strong love for one another, everybody feels it. If one person throws it at him, we throw everything at him because we all linked. Black people, we have a problem that we don't recognize that strength, that love and strength that we have. That's what kept us for 400 years of slavery, enslavement. And you know, it's 400 years, this big celebration. It was love that kept us together. Because we didn't have anything else. So let's you not just put your hand there and let's direct some love to him, right? Everybody, let's do that. You know? Symbolism is something very, very powerful. Like all civilizations, they use symbolism, right? Let's use those things, those powerful things. You know, let's use the Black Panther thing, you know, Wakanda. You know, inspire our kids. Like white people do with Odysseys and those things like that. Hear about Odysseus and all those things that they accomplished. Let's transfer that to our kids because actually they got those stones from Africa and they refined it in their own ways. Right? So I am going to be very short because everybody said all those accolades. I don't need to do that anymore. Right? So I'm going to say, brother, I have you in this category. So Dudley Lord, Charlie Roach, Winnie Mandela, Maya Angelou, Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who I consider the greatest black man who ever walked on this world, Jomo Kenyatta, Fitzroy Gordon, Reverend Pastor Ollie who just passed away a while ago, a couple of days ago, he was buried. Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Dylan Jolly, one of the heroes that he is a very silent hero, but he does a lot of stuff. Yeah. Brother Holu Lomi. Brother King Sanders. That brother, he keeps quiet, but he's a resident. And my father, Eli Peter, and my mother, Cecilia Peter. These are my heroes. And that's the category that you're in. And I want to thank you very much for being that. And continue, I want to enjoy your retirement, you know, and pinch yourself.